back to Sports Special in association with Mercury Communications. Now later on in the show we have news and action from Selhurst Park, and I'm joined now by two local rally drivers, Peter Nixon and Steve Morgan. Thanks very much for joining us. Now the two of you co-own and you co-drive, let me get this right, I'm reading it here, Group A Skoda Estelle. The story behind buying the car is quite one, isn't it, Peter? Because you saw it advertised in a shop window, didn't you?
That's right, there's a car accessory shop in Kenley down in Surrey, and there's an advert in the window saying rally car for sale. It was £1,000, which is like fairly cheap for any car. So
obviously there was an interest there when you'd thought about it before. It was something you wanted to do.
What happened? We used to go and watch the RSC rally up in Keele down in the Yorkshire Forest with a few friends. We've been there for like 3 years in a trot. We'd had some involvement in motorsport in the past, so we did the Land's End Trial in an £85 Viva,
right,
which we finished that.
So you got involved and you wanted to try your hand at rallying. So this seemed like an ideal opportunity. But
right.
But once you bought the car, Steve, I know that was just the start of your problems, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, we weren't aware of it at the time, but the car was fully rally prepared, had a roll cage engine. Trouble is, the roll cage was an aluminium roll cage,
right,
which expired at the end of last year.
Right, so you'd only just bought the car?
So we'd only just bought the car, and we had to replace the roll cage. And the engine was just a normal Skoda engine. It wasn't very competitive.
Right, so straight away you got the car, but you weren't in a situation to really compete.
The roll cage actually expired in sort of, I think it was 3 or 4 months we had to actually rally it before the end of the year. So they did 2 rallies before I had to change the roll cage.
Right.
But the engine was so poor, it was hardly worth entering the event.
Right. And it's quite a procedure getting your licence and getting registered, isn't it? I mean,
that's right, you've got to join a local club. We joined Croydon District Motor Club, then you've got to get a RSC restricted competition licence. A few of the things you've got to sign, there's so much paperwork to sort out before you actually enter any rallies.
Now you finally got involved, you finally got to the stage where you could compete. How did your early races go, Steve?
Very badly to start off with. Before we done some work on the engine, we were finishing last, second to last in the rallies. The fact was though, we was actually finishing the rallies, which is what we was aiming
that's
for.
What you wanted to do. And where were those rallies taking place?
The first one was the Kent Forest. I think we finished about 60, that was about 80 cars, but it's sort of 50 or 20 cars broke down.
Right, right, but you were actually finishing the race.
Yeah.
But by that time, how much had you, just to give us an idea of the expense of this, how much had you spent on the car? Any idea? Because I know that since then you've had the engine rebuilt and you're much more competitive now, aren't you?
I mean, most of the money has been recently since we've had the work done to it. It's basically £1,000 the car and maybe, I don't know, maybe a few £100.
Right. But as I said there, I mean, you know, it is expensive, and you've got the car to a competitive level, and I think your results have improved as well, haven't they?
It started to improve, yes. It's, for the engine size, it's a very fast car now, and we're pleased with it.
Right, so what's the appeal of rallying? Because you're both quite young. I mean, what got you into rallying? Is it? I mean, how can you describe the feeling when you're competing?
It's just an exciting thing to do. I mean, just go through the forest at full speed, like 100 mile an hour down the street, and you sort of get the burn, the car sliding everywhere, trying to control it. Just one of the things. I mean, I'm mostly interested in racing cars in circuit, but that's a nice step up, I think.
Yes, that's right. That is really mega bucks you're talking there.
That's right.
It's very expensive. But I mean, is part of the appeal, Steve, the risk of crashes? I mean, how often do crashes occur, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, the element of danger obviously makes it more exciting.
Right.
There is crashes. We haven't had any serious crashes.
Right.
But, we've known cars in rallies. We've been in rollover, crash into trees.
Right.
But, the serious, well, we've rolled the car off the road, kept it on one side.
Oh right. So you haven't.
No, we've sort of span it at high speed, which is.
We've been pretty lucky. I mean, I think we've spun it 4 times now.
Right, but once you get out of it and you realise you're all in one piece, it's still quite a thrill.
We just continue. I mean,
you
just keep it at all costs.
Now, what are your ambitions now? Because you have had the engine overhauled and you're a bit more competitive now. Results have improved, but it's still very expensive. And I know you want to enter the British National Junior Championships.
What I'd like to do is basically there's a championship called the Skoda Trophy, which is it runs in all the major national rallies, just all the Skoda entrants, and there's a different championship called the Skoda Trophy, and it's like up to the RSC, all the rallies in England. And the entry fees are all, I mean, it costs about £1,000 per rally to enter these things.
Really? So you are talking big money needed.
Yeah, and not only the entrance fee, you have to have support, overnight stays, because the rallies are based all over the country.
You need a tail cost and you need a really good trailer because driving it's not like any car you drive on the road.
So quite clearly, let's not beat around the bush too much. You're looking for support and some
That's right.
sponsorship.
It's financial support we're doing.
And beyond, you know, if you were to be able to continue racing, very briefly, long-term ambitions. I mean, is it more important that you have fun or that you eventually you want to win things?
Well, like I say, we're both fairly young. I mean, I've got ambitions to get sort of go on to bigger things. I mean, for most rally drivers, say the RSC London Rally is a goal to try and compete in that and finish that. And I would agree with that. Good on that.
Right, how much time, just finally, how much time do you spend on the car? I'm just preparing it for a race.
It has to have a pretty much full service before each rally, which we've got a local mechanic who does the work for us.
Oh, nice. All right. Steve, Peter, thanks very much. Hope everything turns out. Thanks for joining us in the studio. And if you want more details on Peter and Steve and their efforts, call us on the hotline 081 666 0432. Now, as promised, exclusive highlights of last weekend's Croydon Sunday League Senior Cup Final at Selhurst Park between Addington Old Boys and Kerrier Sports.